So, again, it's Tuesday, and again, I'm just starting my intentions for this week's vlogs. I have Reiki here with me. So this week, I want to actually finish stuff. I want to finish Memories of Ice. I want to read more comics. I want to make a good chunk into Brothers Karamazov. I wish you could see the look on his face right now. Yeah, and I hope to finish that short story, Collection Cat's Pajamas. It's really easy. I'm more than halfway through right now. And I should be finishing Sword of Destiny, my audiobook, this week, I think. I'm on the last story anyhow. So yeah, those are my plans for this week. I'm hoping nothing comes up that stops me from reading. That's it. This is Reiki. What's your intentions for this week, Regs? You just want to sleep, play, and eat treats? Yeah, sounds good to me. Wish I could do the same. In case I'm not reading enough and not finishing enough books, I've decided that now is the time to reread one of my favorite series, as you can probably tell. The King of Ease by, or Wise, or Eyes, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that, by Paul and Karen Anderson. This is volume 1. It contains the first 2 books, Roman Matter and Gallicinae, and this is awesome. Okay, there's the text, but it has like so many maps in it. Look at that. And there's like notes on like the historical. I can actually read the historical notes on this now. If you don't know, probably don't, because this isn't that popular of a series. This is about a centurion who accidentally almost becomes king of the city of Ease after killing the other king and inheriting his 9 lives, I believe. Yeah, so this is a well-loved book. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing that. So it's Wednesday, and it is snowing. I just wanted to talk more about Memories of Ice here. First things first, there's these creatures in here called the Kachane Chimel, and they're these undead lizard-like creatures, and what I was picturing in my head was kind of like a super tall reptilian slender man who walked hunched over with super long arms, because the arms are disconnected at the elbow and it's just a blade, right? So I was picturing like these really creepy, and they're undead, so I was picturing like the skin hanging off of them and like their muscles and tendons kind of being exposed and like walking around all creepy like, and that was like creepy. And I decided, like, I'm gonna look up a picture of these to see, because some description happened towards the end of the book. I'm like 100 pages from the end here. And I was like, that doesn't fit with what I'm picturing. And it turns out that they're actually T-Rexes with blades for arms, which is so awesome. And now I've started cheering for the bad guy, because the Kachane Chimel are fighting for the bad guy. And I just think they're awesome, and I want the dinosaurs to win. Besides that, I want to talk about the characters in here and how much I love the characters. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to open up to the Dramatis Personae here. Etkovian. Oh, okay, so he's called what is called a shield anvil. And what that means is that he goes up to people and he takes on all their bad stuff. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen The Order with Heath Ledger, where they have the sin eater who will take on the sins of the people. That's basically what Etkovian is. He like takes on people's sins and guilt and bad feelings and their sorrow. And it's amazing. but he does, because he can also use it as a punishment, right? Which is really cool. And he's also like a warrior, so that's really cool. What else do we have here? Whiskey Jack, which we're not going to talk about because spoilers. Perrin. And not like Perrin from Wheel of Time. This guy's name is Ganos Perrin. Probably can't see that there. Perrin is just coming into some new powers and really becoming like a solid character. You know, in the first book, he's just kind of like this prissy, noble person who's, you know, was kind of bought into his position, but now he's actually earning his position, right? Which is so cool. He's become one of my favorite characters because he's now realizing what he can do, what he's supposed to do. Like, he's supposed to do this thing with the gods, and instead of just doing what, you know, what the reader feels is like immediately the right choice, he's just like, no, we got to think about this, like really think about this. Like, it may seem like the right choice, but are these gods really on our sides? Like, we have to actually take a closer look at this and examine it instead of just jumping into what we think is right. And he's like really earning his position. Oh god, there's this guy named Spindle, and he wears a shirt that's made out of the hair of his dead mother, and the descriptions of it just make you want to vomit because he's like sweating in it and he's like itching, and everyone's like, you smell horrible, take the sweater off, and he's like, no, what would mother think? And it's just like, just the characters are amazing. Quick Ben is really like, we're really seeing his powers. It explains how he gets all his powers in here as well. I'm not going to tell you because it's a spoiler, but he's just like, he's a genius. Like, he's like a one man, like we have assassins in the other books, but like this guy with the power that he uses and the magic that he uses, it's astounding. It's mind-blowing. It's amazing. And just that he's able to come up with these things. Oh, that's so cool. Who else do we have here? Hitan. She's awesome. She just goes around and she's just like, I'm sleeping with you tonight. I'm sleeping with you tonight. But it's just like, it's a powerful thing. Because like that's what the men in her family do too. So it's not just, you know, I was talking about women in this book in another video, and like she's just like, it's just not commented on that she's a woman in doing this. It's just what she does, which I think is really cool. And Croup, of course, he's always been a favorite character of mine. He talks in the third person, and he presents himself as this like innocent, you know, powerless little guy, but he's like super powerful. Like there's something going on, and we need to know. And lastly, Tool, who's this thing called Atelon Imas, which is like, they're immortal, but they're still decomposing. So they're like skeletons with like flesh hanging off them. And he keeps his sword like in a notch in his shoulder. The Atelon Imas are kind of painted across as, you know, all kind of one unit, with not much of separate identity, but he has his own separate identity. And then I don't care, I'm gonna spoil it. It's not that much of a spoiler anyways. He goes after someone to rescue them and he like leaves everyone behind, and he has this one-track mind to go rescue this person because this person had called him friend, and that was so important to him, to have a friend and to be able to help his friend. And it's amazing. So hopefully I'm going to finish the last 100 pages today and finally be done with Memories of Ice.
I've taken a lassie in, Yurga. I took her from the Druids. You know, the ones who rescued children after the war. They gathered homeless and stray children in the forests. Barely alive. Yurga, are you cross? Yurga held a hand to his forehead and looked back. The Witcher was walking slowly behind him.
I just finished my audiobook, so I thought I'd update you on my thoughts. Sorry, this is in portrait, not landscape. I had to remember the words there for a second. Just the way I have my phone set up here. Yeah, so I just finished listening to Sword of Destiny by Andrzej Sapkowski. I can't remember his name. Sorry. I think that's it, his name. And I really enjoyed this. I love how it's not just like a straightforward, not military fantasy, but like, you know, in a lot of fantasy, like the first action of the main characters is like go in and fight, right? But in this case, it's like actually contemplating the situation. Like, should we kill sentient beings, even though they're different from us? Even though they may be causing trouble, do they have as much right to be on this earth as us? Or on the Witcher's version of Earth, I guess. And so this is actually less short stories and more novellas. Sorry, I'm thirsty. The masks we have to wear for work, due to my allergies, I'm breathing through my mouth a lot and it dries me out. So yeah, so these are more a series of novellas where we really get to learn more about the Witcher and what makes him who he is. And it's such a great way of going about it, like these short little snippets of his life that we get that show his personality, his morals, what he believes in, all these different things. So if you haven't read anything about The Witcher, I highly suggest you do that. You'll have seen a clip. Or not. I'm pulling over to fix you. Can't have you down there on the ground. I'm gonna include that. Okay. I'll have inserted a clip either before or after this of the drive I just did, and it was a blizzard, and now it's nothing. It's been doing that all day, and actually for the past few days, this blizzard's on and off randomly throughout the day. But that's April in Canada for you. I'm pretty sure some places are still have, snow on the ground. We're lucky here that the snow's not staying around for too long. Sorry, get distracted by birds on the side of the road. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop talking. So I finished my audiobook. I've already deleted off my USB key. And I asked for a random letter from Google. And I got E, so I'm going to choose from E myself. And I decided on Future Home of the Living God by Louise Erdrich. And it's also read by her. And this is apparently something different from what she usually does. This is apparently a science fiction where evolution is going backwards. So we follow a Cree woman who's pregnant, and she was raised by a white couple. And things happen from there. So this sounds really cool. I finished Memories of Ice. Finally finished. This is the best book in the Malazan series by far. Oh, I can't wait to go through all these tabs again, and even the very last sentence ties in stuff. Oh, it is so good. So very good. Yeah, it did take me a month and a half to read it though. So would this be a quarantine vlog if it wasn't Animal Crossing? But because I can't afford a Switch and the game Animal Crossing, I decided to pull out my old DS and play this version You can tell there's lots of weeds I haven't played in a while, but let's check my mail. No presents. That sucks. So, that's what I'm doing. I'm also watching Wall of Chefs, which is about home cooks trying to impress famous cooks, but they're all Canadian, so that's pretty cool. Ed, I'm blaming my not reading right now on you because you are so distractingly cute. Look at that face. Look at that face. Look at that face. It's Saturday, and I've really fallen behind on my reading of the Brothers Karamazov. Aww, he's so cute. Sorry. So I've just sat and read like 50 pages, and I want to try and read 400 pages this weekend. There's my little mark there of where I want to get to. Just page 471. While taking notes and everything for the videos I have planned. So that's my goal for today. I have lots of other stuff that needs to get done, but I'm just ignoring it all and concentrating on finishing as much of this as I can. It'll take me to the halfway point, so then I can hopefully try and finish this up sometime in May. And I just want to look at him holding his face. He's so cute. Hopefully I can read without getting distracted by this. Sometimes my notes are quite extensive and asking a lot of in-depth questions, and sometimes they're just plain old silly. And then there's some times where I can't even interpret what this means. Is that even English? Looks like it says shirts. But I don't even know if that's a language and what it means. And I wrote it. So I failed. It's Sunday, but I'm technically putting this in the other vlog because that was part of my goal for last week, was to actually read up to page 470, which was almost 400 pages, and I got up to page 300 before I hit that wall and just couldn't read anymore. And it's I just noticed my book is like a little thick. It's getting hard to close because of all the post-it notes and everything in there. Just cool. And I'm running out of the colors because I'm actually color coordinating this time. These are the tabs that I'm putting in now. And these are the tabs I put in last time I read it. So yeah, that's it. This all just could be a Saturday wrap-up. I finished The Sword of Destiny. I was trying to remember the name of that. And I started Future Home of the Living God by Louise Erdrich. And I'm really enjoying that. It's quite complicated. So far we have this thing going on in the world that's kind of vaguely referenced, but not exactly like straightforward out told, that something's going to happen in the world in 4 months, which is the devolution of humankind. And evolution starts going backwards, apparently. And we're following a pregnant woman who was adopted. So she was born to a First Nations family and adopted into a white family, which is quite interesting. So yeah, that's this week. I finally finished, actually, I also finished this week the third book in the Malazan series. Finally, it took me a month and a half. I thought I could get it done in March, and I probably could have, but I just got super stressed. So yeah, I can't say enough about how awesome that book was. And then I started the King of Ease series again as a reread. And because I finished Malazan, I am probably going to pick up another book, but that will be in next week's vlog. So yeah.